This lesson, we're going to be measuring the volumes of cuboids. So first of all, what is volume? Have a little think to yourself and have a think about what the word volume means. Okay, so here's my definition of volume. The space an object takes up. Okay, so anything can have a volume. Any 3D shape in our world has a volume, okay? And we use volume to measure how much space that object is taking up in our world, okay? What do we use to measure volume? Well, you may well have seen now, you may have seen water. Usually liquids are measured using volume. You may well have seen water being measured in these units. But what do they mean? So obviously we know that mm is millimeter, cm is centimeters, and km is kilometer. But what does this little 3 mean? Well, actually, that's a symbol for cubic, okay? So for the first one, we would call, so that's millimeters cubed or cubic millimeters. This one would be cubic centimeters. And this one would be cubic kilometers, okay? And all this means is we have got a cube. So for cubic millimeters, we've got a cube that's a millimeter high, a millimeter wide, and a millimeter long. Same for centimeters, a centimeter high, centimeter wide, centimeter long. And a cubic kilometer is a cube that is a kilometer high, kilometer wide, and kilometer long. So we've got an object here, and it is, like we said before, it is 1 centimeter high, it is 1 centimeter wide, and it is 1 centimeter long or deep, whichever you want to call it. So we would say the volume of this object is 1 cubic centimeter, okay? Because it is a cube that is a centimeter high, a centimeter wide, and a centimeter deep, okay? So we're going to use this cubic centimeter to help us find the volumes of different cuboids, okay? So let's jump right into some examples. So here we're going to measure the volumes of these cuboids, okay? Now, some of these are quite easy, and then other ones are going to be a little bit more difficult, okay? So for our first question here, we can quite easily see how many cubes are in this shape, okay? So all we need to do is just count them out. So starting at the front, we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we can see the tops of some cubes at the back. So we've got 4, 5, and 6, okay? So I can see 6 cubes. So 6, and we know every cube is 1 cubic centimeter for this lesson, okay? So 6 times 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 6 cubic centimeters, or 6 centimeters cubed, okay? So this is the volume of our first shape, okay? So question 1. The second question. Now, when we've got lots of cubes like this, there's actually going to be some cubes that we can't see that are tucked behind the shape, okay? So there's a way to count those. Even though we can't see them, there's a way we can make sure we count our cubes properly, okay? So first things first, we need to count how many cubes are in one layer of this cube, okay? So you can either count the cubes on the front, or you can count the cubes on the top, okay? It's up to you. I'm going to count the cubes on the front. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 cubes on the front of my shape. But so this is what you could think of this as one layer of cubes, okay? How many layers of cubes have I got? Well, I've got 1 layer and I've got 2 layers. And if there's 4 cubes in each layer, I need to do 4 times 2 is 8. So I know there are 8 cubes in total in this shape, okay? And then to find the volume, I need to do 8 times 1 centimeter cubed. And that means my volume is 8 centimeters cubed, okay? So the volume of this shape is 8 centimeters cubed, okay? Last one now. So first things first, so we get with the same as our other shape, as a question 2, there's going to be some cubes hidden behind the shape that we can't quite see, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the amount of cubes on this face and then see how many layers there are in this shape. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes on one layer of this shape, and I've got 1, 2 layers. So because I've got 6 cubes on the front of my shape, and there are 2 layers in this shape, that means 6 times 2, there are 12 cubes in this shape, okay? So 12 times 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 12 cubic centimeters, okay? And that's your final answer for the volume of our third shape, okay? Let's have a look at some questions. So, got a few cuboids for you here now. So you need to calculate how many cubes are in each of these shapes, and you need to use that number to figure out the volume, okay? And remember, all the cubes in this question, in this lesson, we're using 1 cubic centimeter, okay? So every cube is 1 cubic centimeter, okay? While you're doing this, see if you can find a shortcut so that you don't have to actually try and find a shortcut to do the quickest way to answer these questions, okay? So pause the video and have a quick go. Okay, best of luck. Okay, so here are the answers. Very well done if you got them all right. And we're going to move on to the checking question now, okay? So here's our checking question. Now there's going to be a lot of cubes in this shape, and it's going to be very difficult to count them all properly, okay? So for this question, try and find the easiest way to answer this question, okay? So pause the video and have a think about what is the easiest way we can answer this question to measure the volumes of the cuboids, okay? So pause the video and have a go. Okay, so I hope you all give it a good go. So here's the shortcut. So I'm going to go through a very quick shortcut of how I would count how many cubes are in this shape. Okay, so there's 3 things I want to know about this shape. I want to know its height, I want to know its width, and I want to know its length. L for length. Okay, so how many cubes high is this shape? This cube is 3 cubes high. So the height is 3. How wide is this cuboid? Well, I can see it's 4 squares wide. Okay? And what these numbers would tell me, if I multiplied these 2 numbers together, 3 times 4, I know that 3 times 4 is 12. And let's count the number of cubes in this front part here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. So now I know how many cubes are on the front of this shape without having to count all of the cubes, okay? All I have to do is multiply the height by the width. Then the next thing I need to know is the length. So how long is this shape? Well, I can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 6 cubes long, okay? So my length is 6, okay? So we multiplied the height and the width to find out how many cubes are in one layer. And then to find out how many cubes are in the total shape, I need to find out how many layers there are. So that's 12 times 6. So 12 times 6, that is equal to 72 cubes. So we've got 72. So now we know there are 72 cubes in this shape. And therefore, to find the volume, we know each cube is 1 centimeter cubed. So 72 times 1 centimeter cubed, and that will give you an answer of 72 cubic centimeters, or 72 centimeters cubed. Okay, so we're going to work on this shortcut in our next lesson. Okay, so very well done if you've got 72 centimeters cubed, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.